Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another video. This one is pretty interesting, but I want to talk about this. Now, this is a rumor. I don't know if this is actually true or not. But this is a rumor. But I wouldn't be surprised if this does happen. But basically, what's happening here is Disney Plus. People are talking about how Disney Plus is wanting to they want to add stuff, they want to add things their channels and all that on Disney Plus. And sorry if you guys hear thunder. There's a bunch there. It's storming out and all that. I'm actually gonna be letting my dog inside here soon. He should be okay though because he's not buying trees or anything. He should be okay, but I do want to get him inside, and all that. But he needs to go outside and go potty because later I'm gonna be going into town and all that. So he needs to go potty. So he's gonna be coming inside pretty soon. But I just have him outside right now because it's before it starts storming out. It's thundering. I don't know if it's raining, but I will be bringing him inside here. But I just wanted to let you guys know that it's storming out. So yeah, if you guys hear thundering, sorry about that. But yeah, basically though, the thing is basically people are talking about how Disney Channel and Disney Junior and all the channels they own, people are talking about all that stuff going to Disney Plus. So basically, it's gonna be like cable again. Basically, is what's happening. It's gonna be like cable again. So I have a feeling what's gonna happen is they're gonna if they do end up doing this, they're probably gonna raise the prices of Disney Plus to probably $20-something like in Netflix and all that, and you're going to be paying a lot more money for it. I mean, right now they've already rolled in Hulu to Disney Plus because now they own all of Hulu, which in my opinion I still think it's a waste of money because they were kind of forced to buy it because they made a deal with Comcast about paying all of Hulu off. But even then, they probably would have been better off selling it off because, let's face it, Disney is losing a lot of money, and despite what they say and all that, and how their platform is doing really well, and they have all these subscribers. Disney's been known for making up stuff in the past and all that, and faking their numbers. Heck, they're starting to get in trouble with some of this stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're faking their numbers here. I mean, why else would they be so desperate to get people to go to their platform, I mean, with this you could argue, well, a lot of people grew up with the channels and all that, so they're probably wanting to put them all on here. But at the same time, why don't they just freaking shut Disney Plus down and just, go back to, cable or something at this point? That's basically what you're going to be doing. You're going to be paying for freaking cable. You're basically paying for cable. That's what's happening. You're paying for cable and all that again. And I mean, you get some deals and all of that. You get deals. Apparently they're still doing deals with Black Friday and all that. My mother had that and all that. She paid I think it was I think maybe $3 or $4.99 and all that. But that's probably another reason why they're doing so bad with streaming, and why not just them. All streaming platforms are doing bad because they're making these cheap deals and all that, so they're losing money making these deals. And on top of that, people are going back to physical media and all that again because it's getting too expensive. It's getting freaking too expensive. And I think studios like Paramount, I think Paramount's realizing this. Believe it or not, I think Paramount is actually, right now they still have their platform out, but I think they're probably going to shut Paramount Plus down. Like, I can see them shutting it down and just spreading their content to other streaming platforms. Because they're not doing very good. They're taking all their content off of there, and you could argue it could be the crappy stuff. But the thing is, though, is they put SpongeBob, the first SpongeBob movie, they have on HBO Max. Or Max, as you call it, But they have their, they had the first movie on Max. Which, again, SpongeBob is their big thing, on Nickelodeon and all that. Even though I feel like they're going overboard and all that. They clearly are realizing, that they're losing money and all that. And I think Max is doing the same thing. Max is I think they're starting to realize that too. A lot of their content is being taken off of there. Now, funny thing enough, you could actually watch The Amazing World of Gumball on Disney Plus. They're advertising it because they have all of Hulu. And they have it on Disney Plus. At least they have The Amazing World of Gumball right now. I don't know if that'll continue being the case. Because I think at this point, Hulu is basically dead. And Disney, way overpaid for it. And all that. They were hoping that Disney Plus would have been profitable by 2024, which is this year, and it's still not freaking profitable. Even they're trying to say it's doing really well while saying it's not profitable. But I'm like, you have all these subscribers, so that even proves that even freaking Disney Plus is also it's still freaking faking their numbers. They're not getting the numbers, and all that. So I'm just like, at this point, they should just shut their platform down. They need to. I think they should just shut Disney Plus down and just maybe go back to physical media. Maybe put some of their crap on Netflix or something. Because at this point, they're losing a lot of money on Disney Plus. They're losing all this money and all that. I think even Netflix. I think I don't know. This could be wrong. I could be wrong on this, but I believe what happened with a lot of studios is I feel like they've been losing money for years now, which is why they took all their content off of Netflix. They probably weren't making a lot of money off of Netflix, so they took all their content off of Netflix to create their own platforms, because they wanted to create their own platforms and all that, because Netflix was cheap and all that and not making a lot of money. But then they're turning around and doing the exact same thing with Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, and all that. They're too cheap and all that, and that's the problem though. I'm not gonna lie, I don't mind cheap content, because it saves money. But the thing is, though, is it hurts the studios, because the studios aren't making a lot of money, so they can't make good stuff, So I think that's why they moved away from Netflix, because they were probably realizing that they were losing money on their content on Netflix because it was so cheap back in the day. Well, Netflix is now like over $20. I think you can get a cheap version of Netflix. You can get but you won't get the best deal and all that. So you're basically spending a lot of money, per month and all that, and you're just not getting a lot of stuff. And that's the thing, though. That's the problem. Is is that they're kind of realizing that they're not making a lot of money on their platforms either. Because they were probably thinking, maybe we can do what Netflix did, make cheap stuff and all that. We can make cheap platforms and all that, and it can, and it can be cheap for people, but we can still make money off subscribers. But the problem is you gotta pay for all the content you create and all that. So you're basically just losing money no matter what. So yeah, I think they would have been better off with like physical media and all that. Physical media is actually coming back. It's coming back. Basically, it's coming back. Heck, Paramount's releasing all their crap on physical media. Disney kind of is, but a lot of their stuff is still on Disney Plus. Of course, it's a lot of the garbage crap, like a lot of the garbage stuff is on Disney Plus. While The Mandalorian and Bluey. Well, Bluey, Disney doesn't actually own Bluey. They own the streaming rights to it, but they don't actually own Bluey. I don't know if they're the ones who released the DVDs, because I was looking at them at Walmart and all that, and I'm like looking back on it, and then on the back of the cases, and it shows Universal's, logo. So I'm like, I don't know who owns Bluey and all that. I do know Disney owns part of it, so I don't know, but I do know they can stream it and all that. So they have all that stuff, but at the same time, Disney is too stubborn, and I don't know if they're gonna actually get rid of they're not gonna get rid of probably Disney Plus and all that. While Paramount, like I said, Paramount I think is probably gonna by the end of this year or probably early next year, I think Paramount is probably gonna shut down their studio. Their streaming platform. Sorry, their streaming platform, and they're gonna probably take all their content on other stuff. Because they've been doing that. They've been releasing, some stuff I've been noticing, I think, is only on DVD, while other stuff is, going to Netflix and all that, and some of it's on HBO Max. I think Paramount is realizing that they made a mistake, and that they're like, why are we paying, why are we paying a streaming platform to have all this stuff if we're losing money on it when we can just have everyone else deal with it, So I think that's what they're realizing, because Paramount was actually the first one. Believe it or not, they were the first one to take their stuff off of Netflix. They took all their Nickelodeon stuff off of there and all that, and now they seem to be the first ones to be going back, back to that stuff. But I don't think it's gonna go back exactly the way people are wanting it to, where everything's on Netflix and it's cheaper, because Netflix is still gonna it's gonna still be kind of expensive. Right now they're 20 something bucks, but again, if they're not if the other studios are not making a lot of profit on their shows and movies on Netflix, because it's too cheap, then they're going to be losing money again. So yeah, I think Paramount is probably going to I think Paramount's going back to physical media is what's happening. They're going back to physical media. While Disney Plus and all that, they're trying to get rid of physical media, trying to force you to subscribe. I think Paramount realized that they're overspending too much on the stuff, and I kind of wish Disney would realize that too, but unfortunately, I don't think they are. And basically, with them, taking all their shows and and all their channels and stuff and putting them on there, and I'm like, I don't know. It just kind of seems. It would make things a little bit easier, I guess, because right now on Disney Plus, everything is freaking. I was on there yesterday. I was actually trying to see if they still own the Predator movies, because I know they got in a lawsuit with that a few years ago with Chapek and all that, and I don't know if that got settled or not, because Disney's starting to lose court stuff and all that, so I wanted to see if they still had the Predator movies and all that, and they still have them on there, but boy, is it freaking really hard. Between Paramount Plus and Disney Plus, God, it's so freaking annoying to go through all that stuff. It's all over the place. Like, it is literally all over the place. Like, you literally cannot find stuff anywhere. It's just scattered all across the globe and all that. I mean, well, on the platform, I should say, and like, I think Disney Plus might actually be worse. I think I may have said because I reviewed both Disney Plus and Paramount Plus. I think I talked about Paramount Plus maybe being worse, but I don't know. I think Disney Plus might be worse because Paramount Plus, at least they have their channels and all that and certain stuff. With Disney Plus, it's all freaking all over the place. Like, I'm not kidding. It's all over the damn place. Like, they have like their Ice Age movies is like here and there. I think some of their Marvel stuff is like on the Disney stuff, and then like while they while they actually have their own Marvel section and all that, it's all over the freaking place. So it's like really annoying to find everything, and all that. And I don't know. I'm like, maybe them having their channels on there would be would be nice, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know if this will go good or not. They actually do this. I mean, they probably would make some money off of this stuff, but I don't know if they're probably going to be spending a lot of money, putting their channels on there and all that. And I mean, yeah, they own a lot of channels. They own FX. They own most of National Geographic. Well, they already have a section for that, but they also, which by the way, I've seen some of that pop up on like the Disney stuff and all that too. So that's all over the place. But they have like their Disney Channel thing and all that, and then they also have and they have like Disney Junior. They have but they have Disney Junior. They have they have Disney Junior. They have they have ABC Family. They have all these channels and all that. But the problem is though is they're going to be, if they put it on their streaming platform, they're going to be paying for all. They're all going to be on their own paying for the stuff because Comcast has cable and all that. So it's just going to be, it feels like it's just going to be going right back to cable, It's literally going to go right back to cable. Because if they put all their channels on there, people are going to be having to probably pay more because Disney's going to be needing more money to have this stuff on the platform. And it's just a freaking mess. Like, it is an absolute freaking nightmare to deal with. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved, I didn't watch a lot of Disney Channel growing up, but I did like watching their commercial breaks, like with their, iconic, little Disney Mickey Mouse head and all that, and you can see the Mickey, you can see people using a wand and all that. That was pretty cool, but now I can't even watch the channels on my cable and stuff, because I've been to some places that have cable. It freaking sucks. Like, it sucks. Like, they look cheap and all that. Like the same thing is with Playhouse Disney, because Disney Junior took over Playhouse Disney, and it ended up being a weaker version of Playhouse Disney and all that, So I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, they could probably fix it up and make it, unique again. I don't know. I mean, Nickelodeon, believe it or not, despite Nickelodeon having a lot of issues and all that I can also agree with what people are saying, I will admit they are kind of coming back. Like, they brought back the Splat logo, so Nickelodeon has the Splat logo again and all that, and then they also, it also kind of like it feels more like Nickelodeon, what they're bringing back shows and all that, not just SpongeBob and but the thing is though with Disney Channel and all that, like, they were also really iconic back in the day. I mean, I guess technically they still have a lot of their shows too, but I know Playhouse Disney and all that, they just don't feel the same, they just feel cheaper. It's like it's kind of like going to a modern McDonald's, like, you see how generic it looks compared to what it used to look, everyone kind of agrees with that. That's kind of like people aren't sitting down and eating at a McDonald's restaurant or a lot of other ones. That's kind of how a lot of these channels are. People don't want to, sit down and watch these channels anymore because they're just generic now. And I said Boomerang's the same way and all that. They really just went downhill. They were making a lot of money off of it, and then they got lazy with the stuff, and now just they all suck. But I'm glad that at least, like I said, Nickelodeon, they still aren't that great. I feel like they still focus way too much on SpongeBob. I wish they could focus more on their newer content and all that, and that would be nice, but again, they're not really doing that, so I really don't know what to say there. But yeah, I don't know. But I still think I still think it's still nice to go back to DVDs and watch stuff. I don't have many Disney Channel DVDs, but I have some Playhouse Disney ones. I've done some reviews on my channel, and some of the episodes still hold up really well to this day, despite them being aimed for little kids, they still hold up well. But I don't know, but yeah, I have a feeling that streaming it's just dying. It's hard to tell, but you can tell it's dying. And I think Hollywood, and all their studios like Paramount, Warner Brothers and all that were losing money and all that, before before even they got their own platforms. I think they got their own streaming platforms because they were losing money on Netflix and Hulu and all that, which is, again, Hulu is now owned by Disney, which, again, I think they wasted their freaking money on it. I think they should just sell it off, but we have the guy in Disney, the Bob Iger, who's a stubborn hard ass who can't, I shouldn't say that word, but yeah, he is a hard ass. He will not admit when he makes mistakes. He will not freaking admit it, and he will not admit when he makes his mistakes, and he keeps announcing he's gonna do something, and then freaking turns around and doesn't do it. Believe it or not, before they actually bought Hulu, they were talking about buying it out and selling it. Now they're not selling it. They said the same thing about their assets like ABC Family. They're going to sell part of it off and all that. And they're not doing that now either. See, I don't like that. I don't like how he keeps, Iger keeps saying he's going to do something for the company and ends up freaking turning around and doesn't do it. But when it comes to freaking employees and all that, he has no problem, throwing them overboard and all that, don't get me wrong, Chapek was doing the same thing, but a lot of people are getting mad at Chapek, for doing that crap, and then Iger comes back and does the exact same thing, and on all that, so I'm like, he did the same thing Chapek was doing, and all that, and, people are starting to realize that, but no offense to people who don't realize that, because, sometimes, you believe stuff on the internet that isn't true. I've been there, but the fact is that, that now we have the truth out there, and I'm reading some comments, and some people are still praising Iger, but not Chapek, and I'm like, again, Iger's not even freaking hiding it. He's not hiding it. He's literally out. He keeps saying he's gonna do something, and he's not doing it. And like I said, he laid off all these employees. Heck, I'm surprised freaking Pixar. Pixar is not, Pixar's not gone yet. Yeah, Pixar's not gone yet. It's probably not gone because technically Bob Iger, he bought out Pixar. That's what was one of the first things it was the first thing he bought out was Pixar, and it would make him look bad, like consider that he's the one who bought that out, and it was his first thing he bought out. So I feel like, it probably makes him look bad, even though he's done a lot of other stuff. But, that's what Pixar is kind of what saved Disney. Even though when he came in, he also shut down Circle 7 Animation Studios, which was supposed to replace freaking Pixar. But, I mean, to be fair, I don't think it was making any money, but I think it was only a couple years old of a studio, so I don't know, but I know they went around and they shut Blue Sky Studios down, which was part of Fox, which is what they got from Hulu and all, and all that. They got Hulu and Blue Sky Studios and all that, so they got all that crap, and they're kind of, they don't know what to do with it, and that's kind of why their platform is failing. And I'm just like, I'm like, what did Iger get buying Fox? What did he get? What exactly did Bob Iger get from buying Fox? I mean, he got a lot of Fox's library, but a lot of the good stuff he got, he freaking he wasn't really there when they shut Blue Sky down, but the fact is that they were losing money and all that, because when he left, before the pandemic even hit, they were losing money and all that, and then, because I think he was wanting to, compete with Netflix by making, a streaming platform, called Disney Plus, but they could have just freaking used Hulu or something like that. But I really don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on, but with that, but I don't know what was going on with his mind and all that, but like I said, that Disney is they're losing a lot of money, and then spending all this money on freaking Disney Plus is not helping. I've said, if Disney, if I were Disney, I would shut down. I would shut down Disney Plus. I would shut it down and just maybe put some of the content, on Netflix, and then just sell off Hulu. I would sell Hulu off and just get out of the streaming, business, and just I don't know, and I do a lot of things if I were Disney, but because there's a lot of problems with them, but that's one of the things I would have, I would do, but I don't know, but yeah, I definitely think they way overspent on content, and when they bought out Fox, they blew a lot of money on that too, and all that. I think they had to take loans out and all that, which, screwed them over when the pandemic hit. Now, you could argue, too, they didn't know the pandemic was probably going to happen, but still, the fact is that they took all these loans out of the company and all that. It's still stupid, because, I'm like, they really didn't need Fox. They spent $71 billion and got, nothing out of it, because, like I said, a lot of those franchises were dead, or they were running their course. They got Ice Age and all that. Ice Age was running its course, and then they got Family Guy. Honestly, I don't even know if Family Guy is gonna continue being on. I hear Family Guy is actually losing. They're losing money and all that. I mean, which makes sense. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have tuned out to Family Guy. I did too. I used to watch Family Guy all the time, but I don't like the newer seasons. They just feel empty and all that, and that could be part of the reasons, because of the the changes with different companies and all that, because Disney probably doesn't want them doing certain stuff and all that on there, and I don't know, it definitely feels like a former of its older self. But even before Disney bought out all that stuff, it was, all that crap was going down, and it was running its course and all that, and I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of what Disney Plus is doing too. They're spending too much money on the content. I think they would be better off just shutting down Disney Plus and merging, well, not merging, I mean, selling Hulu off and, to get money back. And they could sell off a lot of Fox, too, because they don't need Fox. Or, I mean, they could keep maybe the X-Men and all that, just sell all that off. They don't really need all that other stuff, and I don't know, but that's kind of basically all I have to say here about that. But I just wanted to kind of, I wanted to talk about this because, again, this is a rumor. I don't know if they're actually they're gonna be putting their channels on there and all that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do, and they'll probably start charging me more money for it. But anyway, guys, I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.